right. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Ayaka. It's great to get to talk to you. Hope you're doing well. And just how's the day been so far? I know you're starting the weekend off here. So how are things over there for you?
はい、体調はバッチリです。はい。
I'm feeling great, thank you.
Awesome. Happy to hear it. You got any fun weekend plans or you just kind of chilling out this weekend?
今週末は、明日ですよね。えっと、ジムのジムの選手が誕生日なので、誕生日会をします。
It's someone's birthday at my gym, so we're going to have a birthday party for them.
All right, that'll be fun. Very cool. So something to look forward to. But obviously celebrating for you, I imagine, as you just got that recent win over Bastos. I mean, how did it feel just getting back into the win column and the reaction that you've received since then?
そうですね。1年ぶりの
It's been a year since I last won, so first and foremost, I'm just relieved that I was able to attain a win.
Absolutely. And I saw in another interview you did that you said you were kind of more nervous for this one because of the fact you were coming in off of a loss. What was that like? Did you feel kind of pressure to do better because you didn't want two losses in a row, or how were you feeling, going into it?
そうですね。まあ、前回
After I lost the last time, I felt that there was a lot at stake and a lot of things that I wanted to achieve once again. But overall, I was nervous only a little bit before my bout, but everything else was just as usual.
Yeah, and as was the result, you pulled off another Scarfhold, position to get the Americana there in the submission. I mean, all your wins in one championship have been by this maneuver, and you have plenty prior to one championship as well. Just what is it about this, position and submission that you just keep finding yourself, and why do you like it so much?
そうですね。なんで
I've been doing judo, or judo is my background. And to be honest, I do want to try many different techniques and whatnot. But ultimately, it's what I've been practicing the most. It's what I'm most comfortable with. And that's just what I naturally gear towards in an actual fight.
Right. So it's just kind of you get stuck in the comfort zone a little bit. I mean, it's paying off, right? So it's not the worst thing ever.
はい。そうですね。
Obviously now, the goal is to, capture that title if you can, whether it's against Xiong Jingnan, and she's got her fight coming up with Michelle Nicolini. So just in terms of that matchup, and obviously you're going to be watching it closely. How do you feel about it? Who you think's going to come out on top? Obviously, we're going to have to wait to see when it happens now, as it was supposed to be, a week ago, but the event got pushed back, unfortunately. Just what do you think about that matchup? Do you think Jingnan's going to hang on to the title, or how's it going to play out?
そうですね。そうですね。
So I believe Nicolini is second ranked in the division, and to be honest, I think Xiong Jingnan will succeed in defending her belt, and to be honest, I kind of want her to as well.
It's probably a little bit more exciting for you to potentially face this champion who has been the only champion in your division and won, and a lot of history behind her being the champion by the first from China and all that. So it'd be a little bit more special for you, I imagine, to beat her than Nicolini. Is that kind of the thought process?
相性的には
I do think that I would match up pretty well with Xiong Jingnan, and that's ultimately why I would want her to defend her belt with at this matchup as well.
もうちょっとベルト守ってほしいなっていうのはありますね。
That definitely would be a very exciting matchup to see. So either way, I think it'll be fun no matter who you potentially end up facing there. But also, Ayaka, it's like if you are to get your title shot, which I think people are kind of expecting at some point, whether it's next or not, gives you the opportunity to become the first Japanese women's champion in one championship. So does that idea really excite you? Do you think about it at all?
そうですね。なって
To be able to say how I would feel, or I can't really say anything until I become the champion to say anything. So I need to just continue training with that goal in mind. And it's not just being a women's champion or anything, but I do feel a certain responsibility in, kind of make it an exciting, make it make women's MMA or more exciting and kind of spread the word around as well.
And on top of that, do you feel kind of any responsibility? That was a good word I think you used right there. Any responsibility to be maybe a strong role model or athlete for Japanese fighters? Maybe not just the women, but overall, is that something you think about too?
I don't think I'm in a position yet to necessarily feel that kind of pressure. But nonetheless, I would continue working hard.
Of course, all you can do, right? So, but as for the women's side specifically, mentioned Jing Nan and One in Power, which was that event that unfortunately has been postponed because of, the COVID stuff from a week ago or whenever it was. Just curious, on your thoughts on the idea of that event, because the first all women's show for one championship, it's a pretty cool and big deal, I would say. So, I mean, is it cool for you to see something like that happening for one championship?
I think my impression of it was the Atomweight Grand Prix was kind of at the center of the card. And, it's really great to see that female fighters are kind of, making exciting fights and to bring this kind of attention to female or women's MMA.
Absolutely. It's a very great tournament that they got going on, and excited for when that actually does get started. And so how do you kind of feel about how it'll shake out? I mean, rooting for Itsuke, maybe Itsuke Hirata. Is that somebody you're going to be watching closely, I imagine?
Yes, for sure. I'm definitely rooting for Itsuki Hirata, and I want her to win because obviously she's representing Japan. And just the Atomweight Grand Prix in and of itself, even though Angeli is kind of out right now, the fact that there are so many female fighters that can come together and have a Grand Prix in the first place, I think is pretty great.
Yeah, it's definitely great to see so many options and from around the world, everybody representing their own country, which is a neat little aspect of it. But as for kind of the atomweight thing in general, I know you spent most of your career before, well, pretty much all your career, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, before one championship at that weight class. And I saw you talk about this recently as well, but clearly goal is to become champion, take out Jing Nan or whoever's holding the title in your division right now. But are you hoping to go back at some point and drop down in weight, or are you just going to focus mainly on the task at hand right now?
I feel like I can do either way as of right now. I'm kind of looking at where I feel better. I haven't decided completely what I will do, but yeah, I would like to take that title from Xiong Jingnan at a strawweight, and then we'll see if I want to go back to atomweight as well.
Indeed, there's always that double champ possibility, which everybody likes to go for that these days. But speaking of your time, at 115 pounds, where you started, it's funny. I actually spoke to Kinya Hashimoto earlier this week, maybe 2 days ago or so, and he mentioned you and how he kind of brought you into the MMA scene a little bit from jiu-jitsu. And I just kind of wanted to hear your side of things and how you got started in MMA and the story of what led you to MMA in the first place.
So I basically started out working at an orthopedic clinic, and one of the trainers at the gym also went there, and they kind of got talking about it, and she became interested. She started joining the classes, and then she was watching her teammates compete, told her trainers that she also wanted to aim for pro, and that's how it all unfolded, and decided to aim for pro herself as well.
All right, very cool. And it's interesting to me, Ayaka, in your second pro fight, you actually fought a very notable name in Emi Fujino, who very well respected veteran of the sport and had a lot more experience than you at that time. So I just kind of curious, going back at it and looking at that time, were you intimidated at all to have an opponent like her and just your second fighter? Did you not even know who she was? What was it like going into that fight?
そうですね。
So my trainer, Ryo said it'll be fine, but to be honest, I was really scared. She was a veteran fighter and she looked really fit. But nonetheless, I trained as usual and I did my camp as usual and yeah, was able to overcome that.
You know, you and a fellow judoka, Kana Watanabe, have come a long way from that time period, kind of growing up a little bit in deep jewels, getting your feet wet in MMA there. Just curious, you know, I know you guys have worked together a little bit and I've seen some of the fun videos you do. It always seems like a fun time with Kana. So just curious what it's been like working with her and, you know, growing up in the sport a little bit together.
とにかく強いですね。
She's straight up strong. I feel like every time I train with her, she has new techniques up her sleeves. And being, you know, having the same judo background, she knows everything I'm trying to do, every throw, everything I'm trying to kind of go forward with. And she has like an answer to everything I do. And I think out of all the females, she's probably the strongest.
Definitely a good person to work with, whether it's, you know, somebody who's strong, like you said, or working on judo. So had to ask about that. But, you know, after Deep Jewels for you, Ayaka, you had some time in Pancrase where you racked up plenty of wins. Just curious, you know, how important you would say the experience you gained in Pancrase was for your career and where you are now.
パンクラスはそうですね。
I think after fighting at Pancrase, I got a lot more exposure to foreign athletes and foreign audience. And I think the matchmaking kind of routinely paired me with tough opponents. So I'm really grateful for that experience.
Yeah, and then when you went on to finally reach one championship, did that feel like the moment where you're like, all right, hard work paid off. I've made it to this stage. And obviously, you know, more work to be put in afterward. But did that feel like a really big moment for you? Or did you just try to kind of treat it as, you know, just a new chapter? It is what it is.
To be honest, I don't really feel relief or anything. I'm not first yet. And I think even if I do become first at any point, I still won't be satisfied. So I'll just keep treating it. I treated it the same as in Pancrase and everything else. So yeah, just keep grinding.
Well, I think that's a good mentality to have. Always brings out the best in people, no matter what they're doing, I would say. So it's a good trait, I would say. But, you know, outside of MMA stuff, though, Ayaka, I want to talk a little bit about things outside MMA, get away from that. I know, you know, you have some pets. You have a bunny, which is a cute little pet you got there. And you're very popular on YouTube. So I'm just curious, you know, what are some things or hobbies you might have that you like to do outside of MMA?
趣味ですか?
I guess I like going out to eat a lot. I like going to the public bath. I started YouTube because people around me were doing it. And at the time when I did start it, there was a lot of, I guess, bodybuilding YouTube, not necessarily MMA oriented YouTubers. So I figured, why not give it a go? And even Mikuru Asakura, who is now pretty big on YouTube, this was before him. So there really weren't a lot of MMA fighters on YouTube. And I bought my bunny a year ago when quarantine just started, and I was able to adopt her. And yeah, they've been together since.
Very cool. It's a nice pet to have, especially in the craziness of the world right now. And I saw you posted a picture with some little piglets too the other day. Were those yours, or was it just like you just saw them somewhere? I don't know.
そうですね。豚カフェに
I went to a piglet cafe, and apparently you can buy them, but for now I'm good with a bunny.
Right. That's awesome. I didn't know that existed. So I'll have to check those out when I get the opportunity. But very cool, Ayaka. So also, you know, your nickname, I was curious about the story behind it. Zombie. How did this come to be? Who gave you this nickname? What's the story behind it?
During training, when I started, I'd get beat up by all the guys, but I would continue. I would get back up over and over like a zombie. And Shonan, the trainer, said I was like a zombie, so that kind of stuck ever since.
Perfect. That sounds pretty fitting. So I was always curious about that, but very cool. All right, Ayaka, I will leave you with one last thing here. This was great. Thank you so much for the time. This next fight, like when are you hoping to get a next fight? Are you looking to take some time away for now? Of course, see how things play out with the strawweight title fight. But I don't know, when are you thinking that we can see you back in there?
年内にもう一試合できたらいいかなっていうふうに思ってますね。
I'm hoping to get one more fight in within the year, but no specifics other than that.
Of course, and maybe you could get on the card now when the title fight happens. Since it got pushed back, maybe you could line up that way, huh?
そうですね。誰が相手でもいいようにいつでも準備しておこうかなっていうふうに思ってます。
I'm always prepared. I'm making sure I stay ready, so I'll take on anybody.
Awesome. Love to hear it. So yeah, that's all I got for you, Ayaka. We can leave it off there. This was great. Again, thanks so much for the time. Big arigato gozaimashita to you, and hope you have a great rest of your weekend. We'll be looking forward to when you get back in there and checking out your YouTube and all the bunny pictures you post. So thank you for the time.
ありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.